What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be my last video for the night. It's pretty late and I'm going to be posting a lot more tomorrow. So this video is going to be the Russian sleep experiment, another creepypasta. So let's get right into it. So for those of you that don't know, the Russian sleep experiment is a widely circulated urban legend or creepypasta, often falsely claimed to be based on real events. The story, which originated on internet forums in the early 2010s, describes a supposed secret Soviet experiment conducted in the 1940s. The story is as follows. Soviet researchers allegedly kept 5 prisoners awake for 15 days using a stimulant gas. The subjects were political prisoners promised freedom if they completed the experiment. The experiment was conducted in a sealed environment where the prisoners were monitored via microphones and observation windows. Initial days. For the first few days, the prisoners behaved normally, discussing their past and exhibiting only minor signs of fatigue. Paranoia. By the 4th or 5th day, their conversations turned darker and paranoia set in. They began to distrust one another. Silence. Around the 9th day, the prisoners stopped talking and began screaming or whispering incoherently. One prisoner ripped out their vocal cords. Self-mutilation. The subjects reportedly engaged in extreme acts of self-harm, such as tearing off flesh, removing internal organs, or smearing it on the walls. Researchers turned off the stimulant gas on the 15th day and re-entered the chamber. The prisoners resisted being removed, attacking the researchers and begging to be put back in the gas environment. One subject is quoted as saying, "We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all." The experiment supposedly ends in tragedy, with the subjects either dying or being executed. The story implies the gas caused psychotic and superhuman tendencies. The Russian sleep experiment is entirely fictional. It has originated a creepypasta, a genre of horror fiction shared online. No scientific evidence or historical records support the claims. The story's graphic and surreal elements contribute to its viral appeal, but its implausibility is apparent to experts in physiology and psychology. Despite being fake, the tale has inspired numerous adaptations, artwork, and even short films. Its themes, human experimentation, psychological horror, and dystopian science, resonate with audiences, making it a modern urban legend. They told me it was for the good of our nation. I was a junior researcher eager to prove myself, and when I was assigned to assist with the sleep deprivation trials, I felt honored. That pride turned to dread by the end of the experiment. It began simply enough: 5 prisoners, all condemned men, locked in a sealed chamber. We fed a stimulant gas into the room, designed to keep them awake for 15 days. My job was to monitor their vitals, observe their behavior, and report any anomalies. The first 3 days were uneventful. The prisoners laughed, talked, and paced the room. Occasionally, one would stare into the camera lens as if trying to look directly at me on the other side of the glass. It was unsettling, but manageable. By day 4, their moods shifted. They stopped talking to each other, instead muttered to themselves, their words fragmented and nonsensical. One man stood in the corner unmoving, whispering to someone who wasn't there. Another tore pages out of books we gave them, shredding them into tiny pieces and eating them. The screaming began on day 5. It was relentless. The sound filled the lab, echoing down the halls within the chamber sealed tight. One prisoner screamed for nearly 12 hours straight before his voice gave out, replaced by a wet, gurgle rasp. Another started clawing at his skin, tearing chunks off his arm. The others didn't even react. They sat, staring blankly as the screams were nothing more than background noise. By day 9, there was only silence. That was somehow worse. We checked the microphone, thinking they had malfunctioned, but when we peeked through the observation window, we saw them. They weren't dead. Not yet, but they might as well have been. Their eyes were sunken, bloodshot, and wide, as they were just looking at something that was behind us. One prisoner had torn up his abdomen with bare hands. He was still alive, his organs spilling onto the floor, and yet he smiled. "They're ready," one of the senior researchers whispered beside me. I didn't ask what he meant. On day 15, we entered the chamber. The gas was cut off, and the prisoners reacted immediately. They lunged at us with unnatural strength, screaming that they needed the gas, that they couldn't sleep. It took 3 guards to subdue just one of them. I'll never forget their eyes. One prisoner pinned me to the floor, his face inches from mine, and I swear I saw something moving behind his pupils. It wasn't human. We are the madness, he hissed. We are what you've buried inside yourselves. By the end of the day, only one prisoner remained alive. He was strapped to the table, his body mutilated almost beyond recognition, yet his voice was calm. You can't kill me, he said, smiling. I am awake inside you now. I resigned the next morning. I still hear their whispers in my dreams, or maybe it's when I'm awake. I can't tell anymore. So that is the Russian sleep experiment. It's a weird one. It's commonly known. A lot of people think it was real, and it's kind of based on true events because uh, it kind of did happen. People were tested on using a certain type of gas, but I don't think it was as this bad. So that's it for this video, and that's it for the whole day. Gotta wait till tomorrow. More creepypastas on the way. So thank you so much for the support on every single video. Last 3 videos I posted. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.